Okay, my guy. I really need to put your eyeballs in. Please. Marbles. Let me... Sorry, I didn't mean to put that again. Do you want eggs? Yeah, why not? I need those violets. Okay. I slept for so many hours last night. And, like, usually I go to bed about, like, 1:30. When I signed off, I think I was in bed by about, like, what, 11:45, and I fucking slept right through until about 3 o'clock. Like, I was exhausted yesterday. The problem is sometimes I think of things after stream. I'm like, oh, we could try this, or I could go here the next time. I don't have any thoughts about what to do with this. We just need, like, that one little instance that's going to blow this whole thing up again. There's nothing in the briefcase. I feel like that's a lie, though. I feel like you're not really looking. That's the camera. Eyes can be painted onto the photograph once it's developed. What do you think of that idea? Unacceptable. It's securely locked. I don't have anything, that would unlock that door. I thought of an idea, and I would like to check it out quickly. May I use this ladder? I might need a ladder? Okay, I thought of two things, but I think I did think of two things that would work. I did them out of order. I need to go to the photography studio. Oh my god, that's... Okay. That was nothing. My bad. Okay, I don't know what to do here. Oh, it's got a lot of nutmeg in it. Okay. We'll start from one end, work our way back. Got the money. Oh yeah, I forgot. Not yet, I'm working on it. Remember, in an envelope. Don't carry the money out in the open. Got it? In an envelope, yes. Okay, I think that answers that. And now I'm trying to get them to toss their butts in here instead of the floor. You catch my drift? Would you like my jar? It won't work. Did he give me the pickled jar? Not worth trying. I don't remember where I got this from. The bread's off limits. Chalkboard was a no-go. I'm not allowed to talk to Patty's men anymore. Vera, that's a brilliant idea. Hey, no litter in there. Only cigarette butts, you understand? Sorry. Brilliant idea. But unfortunately, illegal idea. Enough barrel handling for today. Okay. Don't make Patty angry. Man, like, I really don't know what to do with this. to the window, to the wall. They are archaeological pieces. They look new. Have they been restored? Promising indeed. Indeed. Aren't archaeological remains usually displayed in the state they are found in? Of course. But in the case of the pieces you're seeing, several similar ones were found in the excavations. There is real interest from both professionals and the public to know what they were really like. I sense some skepticism in you. Do you think we are altering history? I didn't say that. Understand that they are restored only after extensive research. We don't paint them with the first colors that come to mind. Okay, I'll just go fuck myself. The British Museum grants Thomas Lester the authority to restore those archaeological elements that he deems fit, recognizing his great knowledge for the benefit of the pieces found in any excavation. Quite. Chemical components. Despite being labeled, I don't know any of them. They must be used during the restoration process of the pieces. Paint can. Paint can. Paint is blue. Oddly specific thing to say. Can I marble dip? What are you going to do? I want to paint these marbles. Let me see them. They're marble. They remind me of blank eyes. What a coincidence. I have an idea. Give me some space. Let's see. This guy's gonna paint me some fucking eyes. There you go. Wow, they're very realistic. I'll take that as a compliment. You should. Hey, we got eyeballs. Oh, it's you. Have you been able to speak with Oscar? Not yet. As I mentioned, he won't be long. Well, what can I do for you? What is your opinion of Professor Silas Bennett? He was an excellent archaeologist with an impeccable reputation. Until he became obsessed with the idea that certain objects found in excavations did not belong to those eras or belong to supposed civilizations unknown to history. Atlanteans. Hyperboreans. Sometimes I think he's pulling our leg. His theories make no sense. And does the guild accept these theories? Of course not. Bennett only retains his position here due to his past achievements. No one dares expel him from this society. And I believe it won't be necessary. He's digging his own grave. What can you tell me about Oscar Koenig? A promising young man. He works in Germany with Mueller and Braun. Braun? Yeah, Braun. He has the potential to become one of the great archaeologists of this century. That's nice. But his association with Professor Bennett won't help his career. Could Professor Bennett be alright? Are you kidding? Who can believe that beings from other planets left artifacts on Earth? My God. Aliens. That's what he thinks? It's one of his theories. And the least absurd of them. I'll let him do his job. Thank you for your time. And thank you for letting me look out your window. I wonder if what we see through the window is fog or ash from the factory chimneys. Probably both. All right, we got some eyeballs to deliver. Eyeballs. Okay, leave. See, sometimes my brain would not have thought of that last night. We would have been like up and down looking for stuff the whole fucking time. The whole time. Sorry. Yeah, I understand. Okay, so we're doing this for the violets. We need the violets because we need to give them to the boxing star. And then once we do that, we may or may not win the fight. A la Krusty and the Harlem Globetrotters versus the Generals, the Washington Generals. Photography. Ladies, I have news for you. I got beautiful eyes. Now shove those right in there. Oh, he looks better now. Excuse me, but if you tell, I appreciate the intention, but Bertram had green eyes. Don't worry about that, Mrs. Perkins. As you know, the photograph is in black and white. You'll hardly notice the difference. Trust me. I will. You seem to know what you're doing. I don't. The old camera here. Everything is set for your brother to be immortalized. One moment. Here you are, dear brother. These were your favorites. Proceed. Very well, here we go. Good heavens! Bertram! What is happening? Composure, ladies. It's nothing more than the sign of Lazarus. What does that signify? Among the other phenomena, involuntary muscular movements post-mortem. Your brother remains in repose, if such was your concern. Very well, let us attempt once more. Done. All that's left is to develop it, but I can't help you with that. Oh, don't worry. Presumably, Mr. Wood shall imminently grace us with his presence. The crucial aspect is the photograph's capture, thus enabling us to inter our dear Bertram in sincerity. We extend our sincerest gratitude for your kindness, sir. It has been a pleasure. Do you mind if I keep the bouquet of violets? Our desire was to lay him to rest with them. No, that was your wish. You may keep the bouquet, sir. Thank you. Looking handsome. You know, customary things were they did this back in the day, right? You know, like death masks and stuff like that. Do you know why we call it a parlor? It's because that's where we used to display people to be viewed. Because most of the time, people would actually go to the house to have like, I don't want to call it a wake, but like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say. Conveying words, I guess, tonight is still very difficult for me. But yeah, that's why funeral parlor, the parlor, that's why. Everybody would kind of trample on in, pay their respects to the deceased there. And then, visitation. Yeah, kind of something like that. And the person would be there for like X number of days or whatever, like that. It's very interesting. It's very interesting indeed. Death is a fascinating subject. I won't put that in the flask. Oh, okay. Pardon me. Down by the docks. Okay. Knock, knock. Are you in Maya, or do you come to bring the lucky charm? Yes, here it is. Let me see it. The violets! They arrived at last. You just saved our lives. Come in. It's fortunate that you've come. This is a very... Excuse me? There were rumors that Walter Black's manager had paid off the owner of the Wild Orchid to stop supplying bouquets of violets to the champion. As you know, if one round doesn't enter the ring with that bouquet, he won't be fit to fight. In that case, the fight would be declared in favor of Black. Really? Damn it. Beg your pardon? It would be a disgrace if Black were declared the winner because the flowers weren't delivered. Oh, indeed, certainly. You can leave them on that crate by the lantern. Why is the bouquet of violets so important to one round? His mother gave him a bouquet of her favorite flower on the day of his first fight. That very night before he entered the ring, he learned of her passing. When he was declared the winner of the fight, he believed it was his mother's flower that acted as a lucky charm. It's as simple as that. If he doesn't enter the ring with the bouquet, he believes he'll lose. And that's never been the case. Isn't that right, champ? He's focused. Well, as I've mentioned, you saved our skins. Until the match begins, you can stay here and admire the champion if you wish. Come on, champ. Give that bag a good wallop, like it's Black's mug. Tray with food. Food to feed 3 people. Looks like a mix of mashed potatoes, beans, cabbage, and bacon. So, I don't like cabbage, and I'm pretty sure that's for the champ. He'll devour everything on that tray before stepping into the ring. I used to have to eat cabbage rolls when I was a child, and let me tell you something that has. Are you telling me he's going to wolf down all that food before the fight? Yeah, he needs the calories. Oh, do you feel heavy? I don't know much about boxing, but I think that would be counterproductive. Are you kidding? 1 round has a stomach of steel. Okay. The metal door. Securely locked. That leads to the roof. Why would you want to go up there? It's just sitting pigeon crap. The crowd's getting impatient. Wouldn't like to be in Walter Black's shoes. Do you want some advice? The champ doesn't take kindly to interruptions during his warm-up. One of those punches might land somewhere other than the bag, if you catch my drift. Hey, leave those flowers there. So, did I screw up? Can I place the bet now? If 1 round Jack is unbeatable, why gamble? I mean, who in their right mind would bet against him? 1 round could have a bad day, don't you think? I mean, has he ever had a bad day? Not in a million years, mate. Another possibility is that his opponent might be better than him. Is Walter Black better than him? Black? Are you kidding? I don't think he'll last half a round. How much would I win if I put a bet on Walter Black? Let me think. 70 people will bet on 1 round. If you take away the commission, it's a clean £1,000. I need that money. What a coincidence. Coincidence of what? Oh, I was just thinking out loud. I have to go now. Can I not just, like, give him this? Were you the one who bet on Walter Black? You like to throw money away, eh? I just had a hunch. You just went mad then. That hunch will cost you. Okay. So it's after the fight. So what do I do with the violettes? I think our bet is already made. Indeed, indeed. So now we got to do something with the flowers. It's just me. It's me. Come in. Thank you. Let's look at the poster. It's from last year. It's advertised a fight between 1 round Jack and Samuel Crick. What am I going to do with the violets? Business card. Do you want some eggs? Can't open this jar. The mold on the lid has solidified so much that I don't have the strength to open it. Can you open this for me? I don't have enough strength. I'm the brains. 1 round is the... He would do it, but it's not possible right now. What are you doing? You could open this for me. I don't have enough strength to do it. I could blow the jar from 3 meters away and it would open as if by magic, but he can't do it right now. He's training. If you want to wait until the fight's over, he could do it then. Well, how do I get this fight started? Let's fucking go. I need, I don't know. Okay. So now that I have the violets, I need to get rid of the violets. How do I do that? How do I do that? How does one... We need him to fight without the violets. We do, but how do I do that? Guy. Can I go in and watch the fight? Did you hear me before? Not a pin could fit in. Do you think Walter Black stands a chance? Mate, nobody stands a chance against 1 round. Has 1 round ever lost his job? We may have done this dialogue, but I don't remember. Are you kidding? I'll let him do his job. Hi, Seagull. Do you want an egg? The seagull might help us, though. I don't know. You want a jar? Hobble and Harry. Like the fancy footwork of 1 round, do ya? I can do it. Want to see? Oh, Harry. Seagull. I've not come here to pester the seagulls. You may not have, but I love pestering seagulls. Okay, so what are we missing? Are we missing anything at all? I don't want to bother him again. So I don't think we can do anything here, which means we're missing something else. Oh, I was going to look at his handsome mustache and I forgore. Oh, I think I tried that and because I was thinking maybe I could melt the mold or melt the solidified goop. Who's got acids and chemicals that I could use? Do you think this guy, I could use his stuff? I'd like to get in there too, but I need a penny, and I do not have a penny. Come in. Take a fucking risk. Map marks the most significant excavations of the past century. It's a lot of historical ones. Hislark, Giza, Baghdad, I missed one, Pompeii. Okay, so maybe not here. Alright, so where are we going to next? We need to do something with this. I just don't know. I don't know if that's part of the... Oh, we have to wait until... Oh, right. I forgot about this. Welcome back. Thanks. I don't really remember why I'm here. Maybe it's time to read a book. Okay, we did the Lovelace Baby. We haven't done the Stygian Pond. We did this. We did these two. That was a good one. The Allingham House. All right, give me Amityville Horror. I usually keep a file of newspaper clippings of events that catch my attention, but none can rival the strangeness of the enigmatic case of the Allingham House. Here's the clipping I preserved. A fire at Allingham House bordering Clevedon Bay has prompted communal recollection of the mysterious death of its owner, Helen Allingham, before the property was bequeathed to Helen's granddaughter and her husband. As later revealed, a thorough examination of Mrs. Allingham's body revealed greenish marks on her gums and under her tongue, ruling out cholera as the cause of death, as had been incorrectly diagnosed. Weeks before her corpse was found in the armchair of the reading room where she held her literary gatherings, the elderly woman had stopped receiving visitors due to a rare indisposition shared by the usual attendees. Testimonies confirmed that Mrs. Allingham had become obsessed with her new floral tapestries in Shield Green, the shade once popularized by the Swede Carl Wilhelm, which is currently facing devaluation in the market due to a controversy over the toxicity of its arsenical components. She boasted about the luster of her walls. One of her acquaintances stated, quote, "As if not were sufficient, she varnished the paper with lead to achieve more vibrant green tones, ignoring our advice. She accused us of envy," end quote. It is presumed that the dampness of the jetty decomposed the arsenic in the upholstery, causing vomiting and diarrhea among guests, and Mrs. Allingham's death due to prolonged exposure. The police investigation will determine whether the fire was deliberate or the result of the tapestry's flammability. But regardless of the result, it puts an end to the Allingham couple's well-aired domestic crisis. That cursed armchair. I scrubbed and I scrubbed, but the green stain wouldn't budge. It lingered there, glowing in the darkness every night, changing positions, Elizabeth Allingham declared just before her husband dragged her away from the journalists, citing post-traumatic stress. Oh my god, the armchair is haunted! Okay, we have to read the Stygian Pond next. And then that's it. Report from April 3rd, 1903 is featured in The Observer. The police investigation into the gruesome murder that occurred last Tuesday in Berkeley Square continues. Scotland Yard's handling of the case is facing fierce criticism from the Baron's family, who are pressing for the culprit to be found. Rumors abound that even the victim's identification presented serious difficulties. Algernon Tynes' head has been described as a mass of bruised flesh and broken bones, purportedly bludgeoned with one of his own canes, found in pieces next to the corpse. Somebody was mad. However, what perplexes the police most are the abundant signs of murky, fetid sludge, found both at the crime scene and on the victim's body. The Baron was last seen alive in the early hours of Monday near the Thames, close to the opium den, Southwark Bridge, during his morning stroll with distinguished members of the Rifle Association. Witnesses claimed that a drug addict brandishing a filthy bag of coins had the audacity to approach them seeking alms. The Baron responded with shoves and insults, accusing the man of robbing honest folk before snatching his purse and sending him into the river with a blow from his cane, shouting, "Wretched scum." Sir, I think you are the wretched scum. No one lifted a finger to save the unfortunate soul from the fermenting sewer many know as the Stygian Pond. Instead, the Baron was met with a chorus of applause. All refuse ends up in the river after all. This location appears crucial to the investigation as the trail of brown mud led Scotland Yard's agents to the foot of the Iron Bridge. However, as the tracks vanished into the river, it seems the case is at a dead end. Several patrons of the Chinese opium den claim to have seen a noisome thing crawling to the Thames bank and disappear into its dark waters. They have emphasized the stench, a guttural moan, and above all, the metallic clinking of a bundle carried by the abomination. Authorities have chosen to dismiss this account as mere collective hallucination induced by opiate consumption. Sounds like he did have it coming. It really did. First of all, rude. How dare you? This man needed help. Oh, that was fun. I think this one was probably my favorite. I think that one was probably my favorite. But also the Stygian Pond for the fuck that guy. If there is a greater passion than fantasy literature for me, it is money. Hence, I implore you to steer clear of the cash register. Just look at it. I just want to mention I can test my knowledge indeed about fantastical and horror literature. I will ask you questions on the subject you must answer correctly. What do I win if I answer all the questions correctly? An achievement? What? An achievement for you if you answer them correctly. No one has aced them all. Anything else? My respect and admiration. Oh. Horror it is. Well, let's go. Ready? No. Which European river is the setting of Algernon Blackwood's The Willows? I haven't read that book, so I don't know. Vera, have you read this book? Is it the Danube? Blackwood seems like quite an English name to me. The Rhine? The Thames? Well, are we picking a number between 1 and 4? The Willows. Why didn't you give me something easy that I've actually read? All right, well, 1 to 4. I'm going to say the Thames, but I don't want to say the Thames because I feel like there's no willows there. Let's go the Danube. Great job, Bear. What does the Raven say to the protagonist in Edgar Allan Poe's poem of the same name? I will swallow your soul. Tonight you die. Nevermore. Correct. That was an easy one. Which of these vampire novels was written first? Dracula, the Vampire, Carmilla, Barney the Vampire. Oh, shit. I don't think I've ever heard of Carmilla. And I don't remember when Dracula came out. The Vampire. I'm leaning towards Dracula, but I honestly don't know. Late 1800s? Yeah, but when did Carmilla come? I feel like Barney the vampire is just a red herring. Like, I think it's either Dracula the vampire or Carmilla. But I haven't heard of the other two. I don't think Dracula either. See, my horror literature is not very good. Dracula was insurmountable for what it's done to the genre. Is it Carmilla? Okay, remember, this is also 1907, even though it kind of feels like it's more Victorian and not as Edwardian. That inspired Dracula? Shoot. Okay, so Mary Shelley, I'm guessing it was vampire. It would make sense. Let's go with that one. The vampire. Great job. Written by John William Polidori in 1819. A simple one to relax the nerves. Who was called Frankenstein, the creature or its creator? Its creator. Indeed. What can be seen in the picture in M.R. James's story, The Mezzotint? Fuck, man, I don't know. A house? I don't know what mezzotint means. A forest, maybe? Like I'm just trying to break it into two words, mezzo and then tint. Like a tint is like a tint of a color, right? The music is distracting because as I'm thinking, I'm listening more to the music and I'm not thinking about... I want to understand, what is mezzotint? I must Google this. I'm curious. It doesn't really say what it is. It doesn't really say what it is. It's like, it's not. Is it middle or medium? So if it has something to do, because tint, right? It's the color of something. So the portrait of a priest, potentially. So, like the middle of a color. If it has something to do with photography, it could be the portrait of a priest. And then at the same time, I'm like, in the middle of a forest for the tint. So it's either 1 or 4, I feel like. It's the medium of photography, the medium of color, middle of color. Let's go with priest. Oh. So what is the material the golem is made of in Gustav Mehring's novel? I think it's clay. Redeemed. What are the names of the children in Henry James's novel, The Turn of the Screw? Shit. It's Miles and Flora, I think. Which ship brought Count Dracula from his homeland to London? The Demeter. Yes. Who wrote the horror story The Signal Man? I actually don't know. Okay, so I'm curious now about the mezzotint one. I wish they would have kept the question. Who wrote whatever book that was? Charles Dickens didn't write a lot of horror stories, did he? I don't think so. Lovecraft? How early in Lovecraft's career, too, are we talking? Because, again, all I know is he was more, I want to say more active in like the 1920s and 30s. Maybe? Also, super racist guy. Let's not forget that. And I'm not overly familiar with all of Edgar Allan Poe's works, and I have never even heard of Ambrose Bierce. I don't remember what the story was, too. What was the story? Oh, man. It's a printmaking process. Interesting. So the priest one was not correct, which means that seems like the logical choice, because it's a portrait, right? Hang on, give me a second. Do I still have it open? I don't. Hello, Google. Thanks. Message hint. Most of what I'm seeing, Verif, it looks like it's a picture of a house. Interesting. Okay. I don't remember what the story it is. See, I don't remember a lot. I'm going to go with Ambrose Bierce. A, because I don't remember the story that he's asking us to name the author to. I know Lovecraft wasn't overly popular when he was alive. Most of the stuff that he became like more famous. Let's see, I'm going to guess. Damn it. What lot number 249? What did the lot number 249 contain in Arthur Conan Doyle's story? I don't know. I don't read. I never read. Nothing. Vampire's Heart. Gold coins. A mummy? Man, this is really telling me that I need to go out and read Edwardian literature and more gothic horror stories. Like, it has to be something logical, because like most of Sherlock's stories didn't really deal with supernatural stuff, right? So it was either, it could be a mummy theoretically, right? It's either a mummy or nothing. Damn it. Arthur Machen's The Great Godpan. What is the name of the girl who participates in Dr. Raymond's experiments? He's right. Nobody ever gets these right. Does he just have like an infinite list of just stuff to ask? Agnes. Oh, fuck. Let's get to know the authors a bit. What is the occupation of Edward Frederick Benson's father? The Archbishop of Canterbury. Army commander. What age did Edgar Allan Poe die? He was young, wasn't he? Was he like 36 or 40? $52? He was young. He was really young. Poe, when did you die? I can't remember. It's either like 36 or it's 40. He definitely wasn't 80. I know he died barely younger, but also like 52 kind of sounds right. I'm gonna say 52. Nope. To whom was John William Heliodori, the author of The Vampire, a physician? Percy Shelley, Bram Stoker? Percy Shelley? Ah! Nice. The husband of Mary Shelley, the author who conceived Frankenstein, while three of them were together at the Villa Diodati during... Correct answer. Right. Let us now turn to the tough questions. Oh, the previous ones were the easy ones? Which story does not belong in the horror genre? Count Magnus, Burial of the Rats, The Telltale Heart, and The Case of Lady Senox. I'm having fun, but like I want to leave, but I'm like, I want to know how much trivia I'm shit at. Damn it. Oscar Wilde's novel, Who Does Dorian Gray Blackmail? Oh, fuck. I don't remember. I never read Dorian Gray, unfortunately. Like, none of these names, to me, literally mean anything except for the actual author. Okay, we need to... Oh, that's his friend. I'm sorry, incorrect. How many more years of life does the devil grant the protagonist in Charles Matron's Melmoth, the Wanderer? $150. Yeah. What inspired E.T.A. Hoffman to write The Devil's Elixirs? I've heard of Anne Radcliffe, actually. I've heard of The Mysteries of Udolpho, but I couldn't tell you anything about it. Wuthering Heights by Emily Brown. How many questions are left? We're almost done. Are you in a hurry? A bit. At this stage of the questionnaire? I don't remember where, was it a literary class I took in university? You know what? If that would make sense, and I bet you maybe this guy here, the bookshop keeper, is maybe like supposed to be the dev. Why can't I remember this? Like, I remember this, but I don't remember this. I don't know. Are we just going to... The Mysteries of Udolpho by Anne Radcliffe. Let's go with the penultimate question. One of these horror stories does not belong to Rudyard Kipling. Mark of the Beast, They, City of Dreadful Night, The Thing in the Hall. Clearly, I need to go back to the drawing board, and I need to start reading Gothic horror. Because what else did people do at the turn of the century? They wrote. What did they write? Gothic horror. City of the Dreadful Night. That story was written by... We have reached the last question. Ready? I've been ready for a while. What is the name of the doctor who narrates the events in the story The Baby Lovelace? Price. Oh, tough luck. You did not answer all the questions correctly. Some were quite challenging. That's where the thrill was. If you wish to try your luck again, I'll gladly ask you questions once more. Nope, I've wasted enough of all of our time. Okay, clearly I don't think we're going to find our answers in there. That was kind of fun, though. I did enjoy that. What are we doing again? Oh, right, we're trying to find out what's going on. Okay, we can't do anything here. Okay, woo. I got a little concerned there. We've been here. We could try the university, I guess. But I don't think there was anybody here to talk to, right? His enemy's not here. Closed. That's Tom Lee. Test me, test me, test me. Yes, yes. Have a nice day. Test me, test me. I know, I can do it. Sir, please. Mr. Lee. Yes. You're quite strong, aren't you? The strongest in the university. Would you like to test it? I'd love to. See if you can open this jar. A jar? Sometimes they are tough to open, right? But not for me. We did start off so well, and then I felt like it just got into the obscurities. Easy peasy. What do we do with this? Thank you for your strength. That is true. I was gonna say, I'm trying to think of like willows. I'm like, I don't think the Thames has any willows. I just like geographically, I was trying to think. I'm like, willows. Like, what would make the most sense to me? You know what? Home of vampires. It's apparently also the setting for Resident Evil 8. It was a very good looking game. Whenever we play that game again, and there will be a time when we play that game again, there was one locked box that has eluded us in both of the playthroughs now. I must find what that is. I don't know where the key, I've never found the key for it. I need to know. It sat there on the map, untouched, just hanging out. And I'm like, where do I find the key? Never found the fucking key for that. I don't know if we had to buy it off of the merchant. I have no idea. Okay, so we have this. And it's an unpleasant odor. So, do you think we would put that next to the violets? And maybe they would wilt? Docks. Take me to the docks first. Hit me. My dear friend. Step inside. Don't stay out there. Oh man, I'm gonna feel really bad now if he called me his friend. How's he doing? How's our friend Tony doing? Who? Tony, the owner of the Wild Orchid Flower Shop. Your boss. Oh, yeah, he's fine. You're new there, aren't you? I like you more than Tony's previous employee. What was that idiot's name? Fletcher? Yeah, Fletcher. Really? When will the fight start? I want to check out the ring and the crowd seems impatient. I'm not concerned about the crowd. They're eager to see the champ knock Black out in the first round. And when that happens, they'll forget all about the time they spent waiting. Patience. One round will enter the ring when he has to. What ingredients are in your champion's food? It's a special recipe I prepared to give him strength before stepping into the ring. Basically, it's a cabbage salad with bacon bits, chicken, eggs, pepper, onions, and celery. You should eat a similar meal. You'll look a bit thin. I'm having a rough day. Has One Round ever lost a fight? You're joking, right? He hasn't lost a single one of the 65 fights he's had. All won in the first round. I don't want to take the violence that's not allowed. May I watch your champion while he trains? That's it. Enjoy his left hook. Tray with food. All right. We just poisoned this man. Champ, get ready. I think it's time. Is the fight starting? Yes, although he needs to eat something first. Would you like to watch the fight with me? Yes, I think it will be interesting. It'll be epic. What a bloody fight. Short as a fart in a windstorm. Not a bugger in the crowd could bloody believe it. One round must have shot himself with that kilo of grub before getting in the ring. Did you see how he kept grabbing his gut from the get-go? Black obviously saw that and went straight for his bloody stomach with a solid hook. Knocked him on his arse right quick. One round couldn't get back up. This might be the start of One Round Black, isn't it? I reckon I'll have to think twice before betting on the champ again. Couldn't agree more. I wasted all my wages on this bet. Wasted on fancy a swing of the dive later. I'll be there. I did that. I ruined that man's career. I'm here to collect this. Let me see. Oh, wow. So you're the fool who bet on Walter Black, eh? Tell me. Did you know something we didn't? I beg your pardon? Who would bet against one round Jack if they didn't know he was going to lose? What are you implying, that I poisoned him with a bunch of rotten eggs? I ain't implying nothing. Just thinking out loud. We're the ones who rigged the fights, and believe me, this one wasn't. You won the bet fair and square. Well, I'll fetch your money. You bastard. Here's your money. 1,000 pounds. Just the money I need. Doesn't it? Who doesn't need $1,000 these days? How to save a life. It was all to save a life, but my God, do I feel like an asshole. No one's answering. I just ruined that man's career. Is it in an envelope? Yeah, good point. We should check. Where am I going again? Here. St. Giles. Giles? Let's see. 1,000 pounds. It looks like it's in an envelope. Whoops. I like how the music so drastically shifts, eh? Got the money yet? Yes, I carry it with me. Let's see, Patty. Can I just keep a penny? I just need 1 penny. Oh, right. The dog is there. You can't really see him. Mr. Moore! I suppose your presence means you're here to give me some joy. Yes, sir. Indeed. Here's your money. 1,000 pounds. You can count it. I reckon you understand you shouldn't be messing with me, so I'll take your word for it, Mr. Moore. And let me say, I'm pleasantly surprised. Yeah, me too. Did you see that? Take a lesson from him. Damn it. I ought to fire you a lot and keep Mr. Moore for myself. He's got the makings of a collector. You kept your word. Now I'll be keeping mine. It'll please you to know Mr. Wood's still alive. And hardly scratched. You're lucky Brian takes his time. It's been good for you, but I ain't sure if it's been good for me. Gillian, have Mr. Wood released. Right away, now. It was a pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Moore. By the way, you can keep the envelope. Empty, of course. You know what this guy gives me? He gives me Daniel Day-Lewis vibes. Can I help you with anything else? Did you ever see Gangs of New York, Vera? Because that is a fabulous movie, and Daniel Day-Lewis is fantastic, and I get that vibe from this guy. Mr. Wood's release is enough. All right. It's been a pleasure. And now go see Mr. Wood and give him my regards. Tell him all is forgotten. For the moment. So, yeah, that there. Hello? Mr. Wood? Oh, welcome. Your face looks familiar. Do I know you? Yeah, I just paid your fucking ransom. You were here before when Patty's men took you away. I'm also the one who saved your skin. You paid off the debt? Indeed. Good heavens. You saved my life. I don't know how to thank you. Ask for anything you want. Except money. May I ask you a question? Of course. Do you know Professor Ward? Yes, I went to see him at the university where he works. He said he'd get in touch with me, but hasn't shown up here. Did you talk about a certain photographic plate? Yes. How do you know about that? I'm his colleague. Professor Ward is absent. Did he mention my case to you? No, I hope you'll fill me in on this matter. You see, this job is not as profitable as it was a few years ago. Having a photographic memento of a loved one is no longer socially acceptable. No shit. Some even consider it in poor taste. It's terribly. I don't blame them. I'm aware of the controversy surrounding my work. When the clientele started to dry up, I had to optimize resources. I got a photographic plate at a very good price through a contact. It was surplus from Romania. But as soon as I used them for my photographs... wait a moment, I'll show them to you. Oh, you capture some ghosties? Where? Oh, yes, here. I was going to say, I'm like, if you fucking lost this shit, my guy. Take a look at these. They were taken with the plates I'm talking about. Show me. Terrifying. It's just a baby. That's not a baby. That's a possessed Victorian doll. I'm sorry. You have to see these photographs. But look at the spots on the child. At first I thought they were dust specks near the lens. Sometimes it happens. Turn to the next page, please. Do you see? Those are not dust specks. Orbs. Excuse me? That's what this phenomenon is called. Once it's been ruled out that they're particulars in suspension or dirt on the lens. After reviewing the photo, I made sure to thoroughly clean the lens and keep the studio even cleaner. Tell me, what are these things? There are several hypotheses, but the most common is that they are sources of energy. What kind of energy? Energy of a spiritual nature, supernatural nature. Oh, turn to the next page. Metaphysic energy, undoubtedly. I just find it very odd that they're just like, we're going to stand this upright. Did you see these shapes during the photo shoot? No, there was nothing there. Nor did I see them through the lens. Are you aware that you've captured a ghost on film, Mr. Wood? You don't say. Turn to the last page. It's a ghost, isn't it? Definitely. It's a corporeal manifestation. There's no doubt about it. This is wonderful. Wonderful, you say. This is eerie, sir. No more so than you having a woman pose with her dead child. Are you saying there are ghosts in my studio? In your studio, in your neighbors' homes, and even in the private quarters of Pope Pius X in the Vatican. The immaterial world, that world we don't see, may be as populated as our own plane of existence. It's one of the hypotheses I work with. And I'm sorry to say, but if there's a place that attracts these poor souls, it's your studio. Remember, you photographed death. Damn it. Don't worry. These manifestations only occur with those photographic plates you told me about, right? Yes, only with those. Got a magic plate there, sir. What else can you tell me about those plates? The origin, to whom did they belong? Only what I've told you. A contact imported them from Romania, but I don't know anything else. He might have more oh, sorry, I think I clicked at the wrong time. Do you want me to call him? That won't be necessary for now. What is important is that for some specific reason, these plates are sensitive to the immaterial world. That's why Professor Ward was interested in them, as a key piece of the box of revelations. I beg your pardon. I was just talking to myself. I was quite frightened when I went to see your colleague looking for an explanation. I also told him I intended to burn the only one I had left because I was terrified to have it in the studio. He said not to touch anything until he showed up here. I suppose you want it, right? If you'd be so kind as to offer it to me, I will gladly accept it. Of course, I'll give it to you. I never want to see it again. In fact, keep that album as well. I don't want to hear any more about it. I'm very grateful. Wait here. I'll bring you the last plate right now. Don't drop anything. Please be careful. Here you go. Cool. Thank you very much for your help, Mr. Wood. Nothing compared to what you've done for me. Don't drop it in the puddle. I have work to do, so I bid you good afternoon. Hey, sir? Yes? Are you sure I don't have to fear anything from this ghost matter? You shouldn't fear the dead, Mr. Wood. Fear the living. Specifically guys like Patty. Stay away from them, alright? You just met a loan shark. Okay, so we're knocking things off. Oh my god. So, should I try to go back to Crooksy's residence? Sir, kindly not disturb. It won't happen again. Okay, so no. But we did do something with that. Okay. So why don't we just go to the door? He's not ready to talk to us yet. Alright, let's drop off the plate. Get that out of my inventory. Maybe we can have a conversation. Beatrice? I'll let you work. But hey, I got the plate. I have Eugene Wood's photographic plate. Wonderful. Why was it so special to Nelson? It photographs ghosts. That's simple. Have you been able to prove it? Yes, I have an album with photographs by Eugene Wood taken with several plates from the same series. The one I got was the last one. If we discard the frauds and take the ghost photographs as authentic, they have something in common. They're products of chance. Indeed, specters have always been captured to photographer's surprise. Family photo with a floating face, for example. Figure of a lady in a window when photographing a building. Do you remember Campbell's photograph? Yes, the figure seated beside his wife in one of the empty seats on a train heading to Edinburgh. Exactly. And whenever there has been an intentional effort to photograph a ghost, it's been a failure. What peculiarities might this plate have? Perhaps a chemical process that enhances the recording of the beyond? For assembling the piece, I like to subject it to several tests. Good idea. If we can figure out the unique qualities of the plate, we could enhance its effect in the box of revelations. You have read my mind, Patrick. Here you go. We have yet to find Florence Cook's ectoplasm sample and whatever Professor Bennett has in his possession. I'm on it. Okay. So, what are we doing now, and where are we going now? What are we doing? Where are we going? What is happening? Okay, so basically I think these two are going to stay on here, so we have to deal with these three here. Okay, let's start with Silas Bennett. Can I put this under his door? Oh, I gotta budge the door. Am I breaking it open? Okay, so there's so basically these three books I do nothing with. It's these objects here. So we need a glass jar of something potentially, and then I think we need to break into this other guy's fucking, I don't know. Can I put chemicals in here? No. So no. I did not want to go in there, but yourself at home, sir. I will do so by leaving immediately. Okay, let's think. We have an envelope and a glass jar. I'm assuming the glass jar is for the ectoplasm. Why is it so important for you to obtain an ectoplasm sample? We are creating a machine with which one can see the beyond. At the cost of a life, is it worth it? Let the dead rest and let the living live. I hope Mr. Crooks is smarter than you and convinces my aunt not to go ahead with this. They're African lilies. Okay, what are we doing? I'm assuming that that's what the jar is for the ectoplasm. So it's one of these two things, or Benwell Street. Because I don't think there's anything in here though. If I talk to this guy, I don't want to see you around here, so scram. That's suspicious to me. I must find a way to get rid of him and those inside if I want to do further research. Okay, so Benwell Street is off limits right now. So what are we doing? What is happening right now? Are we going here? I can't put the envelope under the door. You're new for me. I'm just a simple maid. Carry on with your work. Apologize for interrupting. It's for the coachman. It contains a card with the address to where Mr. Cook will give a speech. Don't lay a hand on it if you please. There we go. You got it. The coachman must be waiting at the door. Oh, Mr. Moore. I see you're still here. How do you find my little library? Very interesting. I spend all day perusing each and every volume, but I must be off. Thank you for your hospitality. It's been a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Moore. We may see each other again one of these days, sooner than you think. Good afternoon, Mr. Crooks. Good afternoon. Okay, done. Now, where did I leave that envelope with the address of the British Confederation of Scientific Societies headquarters? It's such a mouthful. Ah, yes, on the tray. All right, knock that one out. Let's go back to Florence Cook. Good afternoon. It's not the headquarters of the British Confederation of Scientific Societies. Are you Mr. William Crooks? Indeed. Do we know each other? Mr. Moore, what are you doing here? Florence, it's a pleasure to see you again, William. You are the one behind this setup. You must have switched the envelope intended for my coachman. Am I correct, Mr. Moore? Leave Mr. Moore alone, William. I don't know what methods he used to bring you here, but he was just fulfilling my wish. I won't deny that I am pleased to see you again. The Katie King, the manifestations, all of that is now behind me. It belongs in the past. Today I don't want to get involved in such matters. I am a respected scientist. I wouldn't have required your presence if it weren't. Yes, Mr. Moore has informed me of everything. I'm sorry about your illness. That is not... Oh my god. I'm very angry about this situation, but let me look at you more closely. You are still as beautiful as ever. I am not the young woman you once knew, Will. I'm old. Nor am I that handsome gentleman. Gray hair looks good on you. My eyes find you even more attractive than back then. Gentlemen, miss, I must thank you for this unexpected gathering. It has made me feel 30 years younger. As long as I get to spend more time with Miss Cook, I will do as she asks. Come with me, William. I'll explain everything to you. This is frustrating. I thought Mr. Crooks would talk some sense into her. I hope my aunt doesn't have any problem. If anything happens to her, I will hold you responsible. Not a word. I know. Hope everything goes well. Well, why not the fucking mustache? Alright, here's what we're going to do. Sergeant Hughes used to possess me when ectoplasm had just formed. I'll try to contain the emanation and prevent it from taking its final form long enough for you to take a sample. Do you have a container on you, Mr. Moore? Yes, here it is. As soon as you've taken the sample, I'll cut the connection. Are you all clear? Yes. Be quick. I don't want to give that bastard a chance to fulfill his threat. There is a lot of light in here. Do you need us to turn off the lights and close the curtains? Darkness, candles, and all that paraphernalia are just for ambience, to influence the gullible. I could summon that bastard in the middle of Trafalgar Square. And Florence, you still have time. Please, this has gone too far. I'm aware of the danger, and the decision is made. Whatever happens, I want you to know that I love you. As for you, William, I regret the harm I caused you. It never mattered to me, Florence. I managed to restore my reputation through my scientific discoveries. I'm not talking about that. I pushed you away when we could have had a nice life together. We still have time. Everything will be fine. I will focus. I will let you know when I am ready. Take your time. It's getting cloudy. I'm ready. Sorry. It's just taking a while. If there's any noises, I can't hear them. The air conditioning is on. Soft ticking of a clock. Okay. Do I need to do something else? Yes. Do you think this will work? Do you have doubts? There's a medium with a bad reputation. It is Florence Cook, but she seems very convinced of it. Florence never told me about Sergeant Hughes, but she was afraid when I asked about her first mediumistic experiences. We'll find out in a moment. I just feel weird waiting. It's my ADD brain. Be quick about taking the sample, will you? I'll do that. No one hiding behind the screen, if that's what you suspect, Mr. Moore. Sorry, professional habit. Sorry, my ADD brain. A raven. Florence has always been accompanied by one. It is said that ravens anticipate the strange. When I investigated Florence, I asked her about it. She told me the raven was her peculiar alarm. Now I understand. She was always on alert in case Sergeant Hughes reappeared. So if we hear the raven caw, it means the entity is about to manifest. Mr. Moore, I am ready. Remember, as soon as the ectoplasm materializes, you take a sample and you cut the connection. Exactly. Ectoplasm is a reflection of the entity, a business card. It's not the entity itself. It is only an announcement that his soul is about to enter our reality. If you're quick enough in taking the sample, I will have enough time to stay close, to close all the doors to Sergeant Hughes. Shall we begin? At your convenience. Gideon Hughes, can you hear my voice? Gideon Hughes, I'm talking to you. Why can't my mouse is gone? What's the matter, Gideon? Have you become shy over the years? You disappoint me, Gideon. You used to manifest yourself without being asked. What's the problem now? I intimidate you, don't I? I know what's happening here. You had no problem scaring a poor girl. Now that I'm an adult, you're not so brave, are you? She's provoking him to manifest. You wanted to kill me, remember? It was the last thing you said to a scared little girl. Go on, you coward. Keep your promise. Or are you a liar, after all? You used to call yourself Sergeant Hughes. I don't even think you were an officer. You were probably just an ordinary private. He's coming, the raven has. I can't believe what I'm seeing. Good Lord. Florence was right. Stop being amazed. We need to act now. I've got it. Close the doors, ma'am. Now, Aunt Florence, cut the connection. It's all over now. Right? Miss Cook? Florence? She's possessed? Are you well, Aunt Florence? Oh, he's here. He's in her. The raven is getting agitated. I have a bad feeling. Florence? Aunt Florence? Oh, Florence. No. Miss me? I always keep my promises. Good Lord. She's dead. Oh my God, no! Are you happy now, Mr. Moore? I'm sorry, Shut up. Listen to me, please. No. You are the one who has to listen to me. Because ever since you walked into this damn house, you've not listened to me. I begged you to give up your endeavor, and look what you've done. You've got your damn sample. Get out of this house before I do something crazy. This should not have ended like this, but your aunt... I said leave. Florence. Yeah, it did happen, eh? As soon as I was like, yeah, no, this is not going to end well, is it? This is not going to end well. Well, okay. I'll drop it off. I'll drop it off. Managed to speak with Florence Cook. Yes. And I've obtained this. By all the branches of modern science. Is that what I think it is? A sample of ectoplasm. Indeed. I can't believe it. Florence Cook was not a fraud. Oh, Patrick, do you realize what this means? We can offer world solid proof that the beyond exists. I think you're being overly optimistic, Beatrice. Look at the sample. It's nothing but a luminous amorphous gas. Skeptics will settle for any simple explanation. You're right. They need to see a ghost with their own eyes, and that's what we'll give them. But for now, I'm bursting with happiness. Give it to me. I'll start assembling the sample in the box of revelations. We now have the photograph plate and the ectoplasm sample. But what about Professor Bennett's piece? I've been to the London Archaeological Society, but Professor Bennett is not there. His assistant could provide the key to the matter, but he is absent. Well, we should. Come in. Come in. Who knows we're here? No one. You may come in. It is open. Good afternoon. My name is Arthur Conan Doyle. You must be Professor Moore. The writer? I'm afraid so. I'm a great admirer of yours. An admirer of me or Sherlock Holmes? Should we suspend the search? I found the Utah episode more interesting than the detective investigation. I prefer your macabre tale of the parasite or lot number 249. You should foster that genre more. That was my wish, but the damn detective, a violin-playing drug addict, held me hostage for many years. I've had such an overdose of Sherlock Holmes that I feel the same way about him as I do about the foie gras pate I overate some time ago. Just hearing his name is enough to make me feel queasy. I hate to interrupt this book club, gentlemen. What the hell are you doing here, Mr. Doyle? The reason for my visit is that I saw a light from the street and hoped to find Professor Nelson Ward here. Do you know him? I always followed his investigations with interest, Professor Moore. We had a meeting with your colleague, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, and I ended up funding the Box of Revelations. In fact, yesterday we donated a large amount specifically to Professor Bennett's excavation in Peru. But our friend Nelson Ward insisted this time it should be deposited in the university's name. I don't know why. Wait a moment, do you mean the money belongs to the professor and not to the university? Exactly. The professor hasn't stolen anything, Beatrice. So it would seem. And this whole affair smelled fishy to me before. It smells even worse now. I see that you're aware of the unfortunate incident with the professor and that you're unaware of his whereabouts. We know nothing. We came here in search of a clue that might shed light on where we could find him. We've had no luck. I believe you. I see that despite the professor's absence, the manufacturing of the Box of Revelation continues. Are you working on it? Yes, we've managed to obtain the ectoplasm sample and Eugene Wood's photographic plate. Are you serious? That's fantastic news. I suggest you lower your expectations, Mr. Doyle. I can assemble all the pieces and even modify part of the machine, but I fear it cannot be completed without Nelson's help. There are certain connections not stipulated in the blueprints, and frankly, I'm out of ideas. In fact, we have yet to find Professor Bennett and have him enlighten us on the missing piece. So 2 obstacles stand in the way of showing the public the existence of the beyond. I believe you can resolve the issue with Professor Bennett. In fact, you've managed to obtain the remaining pieces, which was Professor Ward's main concern. So I trust in your abilities. As for finding Professor Ward, what about you? Don't you solve mysteries in your novels? Seems you're good at it. My dear, I begin writing my Sherlock Holmes stories knowing at all times what has happened. I am a writer, not a detective. But if I'm honest, I believe it's time to put my detective skills into practice and compete with my most successful creation, intelligence. I have contacts all over the city and some suspicion of what might have happened to your friend. They're just conjectures, but if I take the right approach, yes, that's what I'll do. You, Professor Moore, try to locate Professor Bennett. The great dame of Phantasmagoria, whom I deeply admire and who seems to have revealed herself as a great scientist, will continue working on the machine. As for me, I will scour London in search of the missing professor. Is that all right with you? Well, thank you for your help, Mr. Doyle. You can call me Arthur. I'm going to call you Artie. We're a team now. We're not quite there yet. Let's settle for something in between. How about Sir Arthur? Well, if you wish. I'll get going. I hope to bring good news. Tell me something, Sir Arthur. What interest does the Golden Dawn have in the Box of Revelations? We're very curious about the beyond. Perhaps more than the average person. Although our desire is not to share that information if the machine bore fruit. Knowledge is power, isn't it? You are correct, Miss Shaw. But Professor Ward insists on it. He wants to share the results with the world. There's a dispute about this in the Order. As far as I'm concerned, I'm with Professor Ward. You choose well. I'll return to the London Archaeological Society to see if this Oscar Koning has returned. Good luck to both of you. See you shortly. Godspeed. Okay, so now we have... What? What are you standing there for? Go look for Nelson. You're quite a character. I like it. How can we trust him? How do we know we can trust him? Okay, well, this is good. We're making progress. Probably, right? I just realized that, I am very uncomfortable in this chair all of a sudden. So we're out of things, but I need to go in here. God. Are we doing good? I don't know. Oscar Koning? Please come in, the door is open. Mr. Koning. It's a very fancy office. Look at this place. Yes. Look at this place. My name is Patrick Moore, and Professor Moore? You are Professor Ward's colleague. I have been eager to meet you. May I ask you some questions? Of course. Where can I find Professor Bennett? I'm afraid he's out of London. Out of London? Do you know when he will return? He should have been back by now. I am so concerned about his absence. I was set out to look for him. Did Professor Ward come to see you? Yes, we had a conversation with him a couple days ago. Discussion was so fruitful, he became our benefactor. What do you mean by benefactor? He will finance our excavation in Peru. According to my colleague's notes, Professor Bennett is involved with excuse for not being very precise in my description, but it seems to be a precious stone, a jewel? The Scarlet Stone, yes. As colleagues, didn't he inform you about it? There are too many things he didn't inform me about, so I hope you can enlighten me. A week ago, after thorough research, we published an article where we announced that we had located the whereabouts of the Scarlet Stone. We omitted details, of course. We didn't want that area swarming with treasure hunters benefiting from our discovery. Professor Ward read that article and came to us to propose an arrangement. What is the Scarlet Stone? It's an artifact. Its construction dates back to the dawn of time. We believe it was made by the Herbans. What does the artifact do? The Scarlet Stone generates continual high-voltage energy on its own, without any external assistance. A potent and inexhaustible source of energy. Interesting. It also is a source of legends. Well, what kind of legends? Nothing relevant. Fantasies and superstitions. It is said that its creators were frightened by what it could do. They decided to hide it so it would not harm it. To hide it so that no human would misuse it. Jesus Christ. What was the arrangement? I will be honest with you. We struggled to find funding for our excavations. Those closed-minded idiots think we're chasing fantasies. They wouldn't fund us even for a train ticket to Birmingham. On the other hand, Professor Ward mentioned having a significant sum from a donation and offered to finance our excavation in Peru in exchange for using the Scarlet Stone in one of his experiments. We need that money, Professor. My mentor's reputation has declined in recent years. We are outcasts within the Archaeological Guild. The deal seemed fair and beneficial to both parties. As I said, I intend to set out to search for Professor Bennett. I fear something may have happened to him. He may have found the artifact and had an unfortunate accident. Or perhaps he hasn't found it yet. Although, if that were the case, he would have informed me via telegram. The train leaves tonight bound for, Erswell, Scotland. That's where the Scarlet Stone is located. Would you like to accompany me? Scotland? I would like you, as this concerns us both, but I'm having trouble obtaining the appropriate attire for such an endeavor. Don't worry about that. You're the same size as me, and I can lend you clothes for my suitcase. What do you say? Will you join me? It'll be a pleasure, although I need to inform my colleague Beatrice that I will be absent for a few days at first. Sounds perfect. The train departs from King's Cross at 10. I'll be waiting for you. Germans and Britons share the same sense of punctuality. Let's honor that. I will be there. All aboard? Oh, I didn't even get a chance to tell her. We will soon arrive in Scotland. Don't get too excited, Professor Moore. There are still several transfers to go, and we'll have to rent a horse carriage. There's nothing in Ersmalm. It's a desolate place. The only remnant of civilization there is an old lighthouse, which I don't know is even still in operation. Let's hope Professor Bennett is safe and sound. Oh my god. And that by finding the professor, we will find the Scarlet Stone. Fingers crossed. I sense you don't have much faith in this venture, am I right? Why do you say that? I can see it in your eyes. You wouldn't say that if I had my marble eyes. You have the same look as the skeptics I face every day in my work. I beg your pardon, but I am trying to come to terms with the fact that we've embarked on a search for an artifact of advanced technology manufactured when man still lived in caves. The Herbans populated the world before that time. You don't believe they existed, do you? I have my doubts. There is no historical evidence of it. And this is coming from someone who firmly believes in the existence of ghosts. Let me explain to you what my job entails. Imagine that the world as we know it suffers a cataclysm of such magnitude that our civilization is wiped from the map. Cities are buried and only a small handful of people survive. All knowledge acquired before then would be lost, as subsequent generations would be more concerned with seeking shelter from the elements or essentially starting over. You follow me so far? Yes? Right. Well, let's fast forward tens of thousands of years. Humanity has managed to recover from that cataclysm and the world has been repopulated, giving rise to new civilizations. Some wonder about their ancestors. Who were they? How did they live? So they begin to establish archaeological sites, and based on what they find in these excavations, they conclude that humans emerged after that cataclysm we discussed earlier. There is nothing further back because they haven't found any archaeological remains suggesting otherwise. A logical thought, but not entirely accurate. However, not all knowledge was lost in that cataclysm. Thanks to oral tradition, fragments of that era survived and were reflected in scrolls or books. Several of them talk about, let's say, an artifact called the Voice of the Dead. Several archaeologists. Oh shit, Cookie. Sorry. Hello, welcome. Is it possible for for that to exist to say something? It's a fantasy. The only things we found are sticks and stones, say the most skeptical ones. I'll read this as fast as I can. Have you dug deeper or explored certain uncharted latitudes? Ask a rebellious archaeologist. I don't know why I'm struggling to say the word archaeologist. In response from the closed-minded group would be indifference or rejection, so that archaeologist starts digging on his own. And what does he find? A gramophone. A damn gramophone with a poor Johnny record. An object out of its time. An artifact that is impossible for humans whose greatest technological achievements was the spirit to hunt animals and feed themselves. Yet, for the civilization that perished in that cataclysm, it was just an entertainment device that could be manufactured anywhere in the world. Well, that's what the Sprout Stone is. It's not a magic stone or a fantasy. Perhaps for the Herbans, it was the equivalence of a car engine to us. I understand what you're saying. By the way, you mentioned that its creators were frightened by what it could do. Yes, that is the document, the Maioris Nostiri, by the Kelso de Rodas, and in the Tempest Quad Numquam Fuit. And you like my opinion? Go ahead. Let's say one of our armies creates a projectile capable of wiping out an entire regiment. They decide to use it in war, but this projectile is so powerful that it destroys the entire city. If my faith in humanity coincides with that of the military, they would be frightened by what that artifact is capable of, and they would never agree to never use it again. That could be what the Scarlet Stone represents. A source of energy that the Herbans couldn't control. It's been a very interesting conversation, Mr. Cohen. Jimmy Oscar. Today has been a very hectic day. My body can't take anymore. Do you want to take a nap? Oh, don't worry about me. Rest if this rattling English sheep train allows it. Thank you very much. Good night. German. Oh, Lord. I am good. Cookie, how are you doing? What were you guys doing? I really enjoyed that nightmare from last night. Damn it. Stop tormenting yourself, Oscar. Stop. All my gear was in those trunks. Those incompetent station workers were just supposed to take our luggage to the Hotel in Edinburgh. Maps, tools, clothes, flashlights, all lost. I know, but there's nothing we can do now. Maybe we can find something around here that will help us. Look around you. This is a desolate wasteland. There's nothing for miles, just rocks. Not to worry, we'll get through this. Let's search for Professor Bennett before it gets dark. We'll have plenty of time to lament later. Right. I apologize for letting you witness my frustration. Let's get moving. Oh, Jesus. Sorry, that was a weird time to come in. Thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. We were just having a lovely conversation on some fantastical stone that may or may not be a weapon. Jimmy, what is going on? Thank you so much for popping in. What were you guys doing tonight? Sorry, I need to take a sip because this game is a lot of point and click and a lot of reading. There's something shiny up here, though. Oscar, come here. Have you noticed those glints? They're not signals, if that's what you're thinking. Look, the glints are very irregular. Maybe it's a small stream catching the last rays of the sun. Are you sure about that? That's my belief. I want to go up. I think we should investigate those glints. Trust me, it's not Professor Bennett signaling, if that's what you're implying. Besides, that area is far beyond my colleague's reach. We could go check it out. Do you want to waste several hours going there just to find out it's nothing but a stream? As I've already told you, trust me. I have field experience, and I assure you, those glints are natural. Bitch, I really think we should investigate that. We can go check it out. I'd like to go check it out. Mountains. Brook. Water must be freezing. Don't talk to me about water, guys. I still have freezing water. My fucking water tank is still not fixed. We are on day number 4 of having cold ass showers. Professor, wait. I want you to have this. Copy of the topographic map of the area that was lost with the trunks. I borrowed this piece of map from the inn where we stayed. I'll mark the places where Professor Bennett might be. Alright, let's use this area as our starting point. Nearby is... Oh, God. Where is that? Around... Okay. Here. It's an ancient druid stone circle where, according to our research, the Scarlet Stone was venerated. It is said that the artifact we seek lies buried at its center. If the professor dug there, he has probably achieved his goal. And if we see no signs of excavation, it will mean he never made it to... Erswell? No, I'm saying that wrong. There is a lighthouse a few kilometers downstream. Okay. On our way here, we saw that it's still operational. That means there's a lookout. He might have seen Professor Bennett wandering around the area. We should talk to him. Ready to go? Let's go. I want to investigate those glints. Okay. Path. Lighthouse. Okay, why don't we go here first? Beautiful. Curses. What's the matter? This is not the cromlech where the Scarlet Stone is supposed to be buried. You're very sure about that? Udemo's writings were precise. Each stone should bear a spiral rune, the protective symbol of the Order of the Eternal Wind. Which is, the Scarlet Stone survived the cataclysm that ended its creators. It passed through various hands until it reached the Druid sect who called themselves that. They possessed great knowledge of the past eras. Many of their rituals came from lost civilizations. When they obtained the Scarlet Stone, they studied it and understood its power. They agreed to hide it to prevent it from falling into the wrong hands. The trail of the artifact we seek ends there, with the Order of the Eternal Wind. Could others that have attained the Scarlet Stone after this sect? No. Why not? Because it's impossible. How can you be so sure? Because we have done our job, sir. There is no record of it being anywhere else. Don't be impertinent with your questions, and believe me when I tell you I'm sure of it. Alright, God, fuck, I'm sorry, I apologize. Seems the professor was here after all. He excavated the area, there's no doubt about that, but he must have found nothing, not found anything. This is frustrating. Does this mean that the Scarlet Stone is not an air swell? Yeah, Oscar's getting a bit testy there. It is an air swell. Verdammt nochmal. I don't speak German. Why on earth shouldn't it be? I won't abide your pessimism. All right, Oscar, don't get so upset. We have spent years investigating its whereabouts. We couldn't have made any mistakes. Calm the fuck down. Don't tell me to calm down. What do we do now? I don't know. Listen to me, Oscar. Try to relax. Your attitude won't help us at all. I apologize for not possessing the famous British... What did it say? I'm just asking you to try and calm down. I'm sorry. Without Professor Bennett, I'm lost. I won't find the artifact without him. And without the artifact, your colleague won't fund our excavation in Peru. Regarding that, I'm sorry I haven't been honest with you, but Professor Ward is missing. What do you mean? There was a minor incident, and he decided to go into hiding. I have no idea where he might be. Will he come back? I don't know. I assume there will be news of him sooner or later, but damn it. Why didn't you mention this before we set off? I don't really know. I want that artifact as much as you do, and I decided to join you on this quest. But don't worry, I'm a professor at a very important university. I could pull strings that connect you to patrons willing to fund you if this venture succeeds. That better be true, Professor Moore. Otherwise, I will consider you a hindrance. My word. Are we done? Are you done threatening me? In the hole? We'd fucking toss you in the hole. I understand the frustration of my colleague upon finding nothing here. Maybe we could dig deeper. Didn't you hear what I said before? This is not the spot we're looking for. Here. There's a hole here. I see something sticking out of the ground. What have you found? A mirror. Could it be an object out of its time? Don't joke around. It belongs to Professor Bennett. Why would an archaeologist need a mirror? It reflects the sunlight to shine directly into the hole being excavated, an additional light source alongside the lamps and lanterns. Can I use the mirror for, like... No good. Maybe if... Nope, bad idea. You could try somewhere else. Can't do that. That's a good idea. Click, 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 click. Okay, so not that one. Okay. Is there anything else? You mentioned that each menhir should bear a spiral rune carved into it. Yes. Can it be the elements eroded those runes until they vanished? No. Throughout Europe, remnants of the settlements of the Order of the Eternal Wind can be found. Such stone-carved runes have been discovered in Spain, France, and in my homeland. Several of them much older than this cromlech. So in response to your query, no, it is impossible for the elements to have completely erased those runes. Okay, are we exiting? Let's go check the lighthouse, I guess. Why does the music sound so, like, vaguely threatening? Oh, who is this gentleman? Who is this doggo? What the devil? Get out of here. From the lighthouse? From Erswell. Erswell. Dog. Look out. Excuse me. What? Why should we leave Erswell? This place is nae for you. Damn it, I shouldn't even be here myself. I'm sure this sounds much more better with a Scottish accent. Why don't you leave this place? These coasts are treacherous. They have claimed the lives of 100 sailors. That was before they built the lighthouse, and someone has to take care of it. Although you won't see me venturing into those moors, no sir. Eriswell is full of dangers, do you know? What kind of dangers? The glyphs. You have to be careful if you don't want to plunge off them. You'd be surprised at the human remains that can be found among the rocks. And the wind. Seems harmless, right? But this wind is relentless. It could drive even the sanest person mad. And I won't mention those damn mushrooms, fray hell. But above all, yes. Nay. Forget it. Get out. See, this is where I feel like we should be putting on my Canadian accent. Get out. Get out. Mushrooms. This is the dog's name. Mushrooms. Purple things sticking out of the ground. I know what mushrooms are. You have to be careful not to step on them. And they are everywhere. What are you doing with those stones? Crush them and turn them into gravel. What do you do with it? Spread it along the path to the door of my home. The stranger probably caught their attention. I want to be alert in case they approach while I sleep. If they step on the gravel, I'll hear them coming. They? Who are they? Those who play the trumpets. I heard them once. It's been centuries since anyone heard them. What trumpets? The ones of the apocalypse. Professor Morecambe here. The man has gone mad. He is delusional. He is not the first lookout to lose his mind in the solitude of unnatural elements. But I'm not done talking to him yet. Sorry to disturb you. Still hanging around here. Can you tell me about them? I think I've said enough. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, nay, where are the danger you're in? Tell me about the stranger you've seen around here. Could he be an archaeologist? We are looking for him. There was a fellow carrying strange instruments. I supposed he was an archaeologist by the way he was dressed. Did you talk to him? Nay, he did not. He did not come around here, and I did not go near him either. He used to sleep in one of the caves off the northern cliff. He lit a fire in it at night, and that catches the eye. Maybe that's why the trumpet sounded for the first time in years. Where's that cave? To the north, there are cliffs. The cave is on the ledge. Okay. Suddenly feels like we're about to step into that one movie with Leonardo DiCaprio in it. What's it called? Shutter Island. Can we enter the lighthouse? From above, we would have a full view of the terrain. Yeah, are nay authorized to enter the lighthouse. Only I am. But we could. I said I'm only authorized to enter the lighthouse. Is that clear? What's the dog's name? Dog. I mean, that's scrawny rat. It does not deserve a name. How do you call it then? We a whistle. It looks like a quiet dog. It was, yeah, right. It's a very interesting movie. It's too quiet. And it's as if it came out of the taxidermist warehouse. It came out, and on top of that, it's a coward. It gets scared of its own reflection in the water, and when that happens, you have to calm it down, until it doesn't have a heart attack. Some companion. Thank you for your time. I'd like to pet dog. You should listen, Tammy. Get out, Erswell. Okay. All right, Oscar, what do you think? It's a very interesting movie, Shutter Island. Any ideas? Let me think. No. None at all. Well, I guess we're going to that cave, aren't we? The path. Okay. Oh, yeah, this looks safe. Wait here. How are you going to see? Professor? Professor Bennett? Professor? Damn it. Nothing? He's not here. The lookout said the professor spent several nights in this cave. Are there any sign of his belongings? I don't know. It's very dark. I couldn't see anything. Should go as well. Go ahead if you wish, but as I mentioned, you won't say anything. But what if I use that? But what if there are mushrooms here? But what if, why am I picking that up? Be cautious with that mushroom. It's an Amantia involutus. If crushed, it will release spores that could render you unconscious for quite some time. I'll be careful. Can we not use the mirror to, like, too far away? Okay, well, I'll go fuck myself then. I could use the mirror to direct light into the cave, but the light has intervals are so fast that I could barely have time to see anything. Well, just fucking do it anyway. The cave is too dark inside. I can't see anything. I am trying to give you a fucking way out. All right, let's just leave. So if we go back to the lighthouse, do I need to set the mirror up somewhere there? Like, do I need to set you up here? We don't need a rope, Mr. Moore. Not that we know of yet. We'll know where to find one if we need it. I don't understand your habit of keeping every object you come across. All right. Excuse me, you worry about you, and I will worry about me, and me wants to carry a rope. So I don't have to make 8 years. All right. You are not authorized to enter the lighthouse. Let's just check in. Let's just check in. Keep that away from me. How dare you carry that around? It's brimming with gravel. Not worth trying. Am I poisoning the dog? I don't. Yeah, okay, good. I'm just making sure that was not an option. I really want to keep the rope. Why can't we do that? Okay, so if we go back to the path. It's quite far. Now let's keep going. Okay, so that's the way to get back to London. Let me go over there. Why won't you let me? Okay, so, what are we doing then? Make a wish. Look up at the sky. Do you want me to look up at the sky? Like, sir, what do you want from me? So this guy's got no ideas, but he won't let me take a rope. So I need to make it afraid of its reflection in the water. But how do I do that? It's like where... What the hell's wrong with you? Do you want to come down? Have you calmed down? That's the way I like it. Okay, there we go. Cursed mutt. What the? Are you all right? Yes. Not really. Just a bit. I need to sit down. Thank you. Why am I so awful? Must be his wife or his daughter. Recognize the coast of Ariswell's old photo. There's a diary on the table. It doesn't reveal more than we already gleaned from the lighthouse keeper, although there are several notes regarding them. It doesn't specify who they are. Empty. It seems this lever controls the direction of the lighthouse beam. Several bottles, kitchen utensils, and a couple of maritime novels by Joseph Conrad. So I'm going to need to directionally change the light. There's a trap door with a padlock preventing access to the upper floor. A list of precautions when using the panel. Basically, it says that you should gently pull the lever without forcing it. What direction? What direction was that? Shid. I'm not very proud of what I've done, although he's just sleeping. I'll borrow the mallet. Perfect. Can I take this rope now? Okay, so if we... I still have the mirror, too. All right. Am I facing... Like, is it north? Okay, let's try north. That would make sense, right? Hopefully nobody dies on the cliffs now that we are getting some bad habits. Let's see if that worked. Yeah, we're not really becoming the best person, are we? Don't worry, I won't show you the mirror again. We're also teasing animals. All right, let's see if that was right. Is that better? Oscar? Yes. Stand against that wall. This one? Yes. Is this okay? What are your intentions? Hold this mirror. I see what you have in mind. Raise it slightly and aim it towards the interior of the cave. Very good. Thank you. The lookout was right. There are remnants of a fire here. What else do you see? A bag? All right, check it. It might contain his diary. That'll help track his movements. What did you find? There was only a telescope. Nothing else? Nope, just that. Okay. Can I lower the mirror? My arms are getting tired. Of course, there's nothing more to see here. Okay. How strange. As if the earth swallowed him up. Where are you, Professor Bennett? I'm running out of ideas, Professor Moore. I think we need to go and check the mountains. I need to check that path. I want to check out what those glints are. Um... What do you see? A camp with a single tent? Could it be Professor Bennett's? Let me see. No, 'tis not his tent. Though I can affirm 'tis the typical camp of an archaeologist. Shall we investigate it? This is not an archaeological site. At least not for conventional archaeologists. I'm intrigued by others excavating here. Do you think they're also after the Scarlet Stone? We were cautious not to reveal specifics, the specific location of our article. We were very careful about that. Let's go speak with those folk. They may have had contact with the professor recently. He might even be with them. That would be very good news. Ready for a hike? Let's go. Okay, finally. So we're moving along here. This better be worth it. Is that another mirror? Looters. Excuse me? Parasites who feed off the work of others. They probably followed Professor Bennett's movements and stole the Scarlet Stone. If that's the case, where's the professor? Where are they? They might be getting rid of him now. I beg your pardon, but aren't you being a bit paranoid? You don't know his profession. These looters are ruthless. They may simply be archaeologists, just like you. Look at this box. It has a huge lock. What archaeologist is so jealously guards a simple box? I bet the Scarlet Stone is inside. Or his work tools. I must be alert. These people are dangerous. This guy is fucking paranoid. This is the source of the glints I saw from afar. These are a couple of the books on Scottish sites. There's also an old lamp that would have been useful to light up the cave. Still smoldering? They can't be far. I see only a sleeping bag. There's just the one. If I were you, I wouldn't trust it. They usually don't work alone. A thick chain and the lock prevent the box from being opened. I have a feeling that the Scarlet Stone is in there. I don't understand why you believe that. I recall you saying no one knows the artifact's location. You were careful not to give any clues in the article you wrote, right? Indeed. I don't know how it could have happened, but these looters know. Let's break that lock. Hey! What are you doing? What does that box contain? Excavation material? He's lying. If that's the case, why keep it under lock and key? So people like you won't steal it from me. Who are you? No. Who are you? My name is John Price. Please excuse my companion. He can be a bit impulsive. Just a bit? My name is Patrick Moore, and this gentleman is Oscar Koenig. We are looking for Professor Silas Bennett. Oscar Koenig. You are Professor Bennett's assistant. Do you know him? Do you know where he is? This smells fishy, Mr. Moore. What have you done to him, Bryce? Me? Nothing. We collaborated in the search for the Scarlet Stone. Collaborated? Mr. Moore, don't believe a word this man says. The professor would not collaborate with a looter. I'm not a looter. Please calm down, Mr. Koenig. I met your mentor here in Ariswell. His search for the artifact was fruitless. He wasn't digging in the right place. I have precise data on where the Scarlet Stone might be, and he agreed to share the discovery with me. That's all. How do you know the Scarlet Stone is in Ariswell? Well, no matter how hard you tried to conceal it in the article, the references were very clearly obvious. The professor admitted that an expert reading the article could have located the place with no problem, as was in my case. Where is the professor? Your friend believed the artifact is buried in the cromlech on the coast. That's because he hadn't read Marley's and her chronicles. The text does not mention Ariswell, but rather the hidden cromlech of the Black Forest. When I finally read your article, I could pinpoint the exact location. That's why I'm here. Is the professor in that cromlech? He set off yesterday to locate it. I told him to wait, but he wouldn't listen. Come with me. Is he dead? You see that mountain? On its slope lies what Marley's called the Black Forest. When the Order of the Eternal Wind was persecuted by the Presbyterian Church, they decided to hide in that place. They erased all traces of themselves, hence the ghost of Cromlech doesn't show their characteristic runes. According to the chronicles, they erected a new Cromlech to hide the artifact and dedicate their lives to its protection. The professor and I decided to locate that Cromlech, but the Black Forest is a labyrinth place, and these days there's a lot of fog there. I told him to wait a few days until it cleared, but he ignored me. Did he go there alone? Yes, yesterday. He hasn't returned since. I fear something may have happened to him. And you haven't gone to look for him? That's my intention, but as I mentioned, the fog condensation in that place is high. I'd practically be going blind, just like Professor Bennett is. I think we should go look for him. What do you think, Oscar? Haven't you been listening? Unless the fog clears, your search will be in vain. Why not wait until tomorrow? The fog is slowly dissipating. Perhaps after tonight, the weather will be more suitable to search for the professor. We cannot wait that long. He's been lost there for a day, probably disorientated and showing signs of hypothermia. I don't know what else to say to dissuade you from venturing into the forest. Do as you wish. I'll stay here. I may have to rescue you tomorrow as well. And be very careful. Yesterday afternoon I heard... What did you hear? I don't know how to explain this. You'll think I'm crazy. What did you hear? It happened a few hours after the professor ventured into the forest. I could say it was the sound produced by the elements. You know, the wind. But no, my workplace is nature. There is no sound in it that resembles what I heard. And until you appeared, there was no human in Airswell apart from the grumpy lookout. Forget it. Maybe my concern for Professor Bennett played tricks on my mind. I don't think this man is in his right mind. Or maybe it's difficult for him to describe what he heard without us thinking he's crazy as you're doing. Do you trust this man? He hasn't given us any reason not to. He has been cooperative, his account is solid, and he seems concerned for our friend, the professor. Don't be so naive, Mr. Moore. Oh my god, this fucking guy. Are you sure you don't want to come with us to the Black Forest? It would be reckless of me, and of you. Take care, will you? We will do so. Well, no worries. I need to go back for a quick second because I need to get a rope. I swear to God, if I get there and it's like, ooh, we should probably tie a rope to somewhere, I'm just gonna be mad. I'm trying to save time. We have lost our way, haven't we? So it seems, and the fog's getting thicker. Oh my god. I think... Oscar? Oscar? Damn it. The spiral. Oscar mentioned that the Order of the Eternal Wind used this symbol. I suppose the Cromlech we are looking for is not far off. So, we keep going this way? More rocks with spirals. I think I'm getting closer. What was that? I must be getting raided. Oh my god. Professor Bennett, what happened? Run away from here. I've come to rescue you, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm already dead. Price, John Price. Yes, he betrayed me. He left me at the mercy of him. Don't let it... Oh no. Someone is coming. And a cult. And the devil. He's died, my lord. It doesn't matter. We know he couldn't have stolen the key of the stars. We must find his accomplices. The old man from the lighthouse might know something. Make him talk, Berther. Aye, my lord. Oh, it's actually Brithers. Sorry, it's Brithers. We have been owner trusting in the task entrusted Taya centuries ago. We underestimated the pagans, but didn't I worry? Tay the key of the stars will return Tay our Hans. And those who have stolen it will pay with the most painful o' deaths. Search every corner o' this forest. Scour the coast. Find which belongs to us and shed out the blood o' the looters. Go, breathers. Show nae mercy. Breathers. This is like fucking... Damn it. I must find Oscar and get out of this place. None of this is worth finding that cursed artifact. Well, that guy went that way. I'm gonna go this way. Ah! The fog is less dense. It must be near the forest exit. Okay, so the game's only letting me go one way. Okay, that's good. Oscar. Oh no. Hi. I like that's our running speed. Top run speed. Yes, I recognize this path. It's the way out of the forest. Oh no! Oh shit. I'm really not putting in an effort. Where am I going to the path? Nope. Camp? Price is not here. He locked it with a padlock and chain. Can I break in now? It's been here the whole time. Okay, that's good, right? Or not. I have to get out of this cursed place. Not so fast, Mr. Moore. Please leave it where you found it. I think you owe me more than an explanation, Mr. Price. What do you expect me to say? That I'm surprised to see you alive? You sent us out to the Black Forest knowing the Order of the Eternal Wind was there. You wanted to get rid of us. I was about to leave this place when you showed up. This is a competitive business, Mr. Moore. I didn't want to leave any loose ends. Oscar was right. You are nothing but a looter. Yeah, your partner. He's dead. Well, that was the idea. You're insane. I'm just a businessman. And what did you do to Professor Bennett? His last words were an accusation against you. He said you betrayed him. We unearthed the Scarlet Stone from the cromlech in the forest. At that moment, the Order of Eternal Wind appeared to hunt us down. I wanted to buy some time. So I snatched the artifact, smashed the old man's legs to delay our pursuers. That way, I managed to escape unscathed from that hellish place. What an asshole! I know what you're thinking. And let me tell you that, no, I feel no remorse. This is an esoteric order that'll pay me enough for that artifact to clear my conscience. Excuse me for not telling you their name. You have been so lucky in escaping those descendants of the Druids that perhaps fortune will continue to smile on you and allow you to escape from me as well. Although I very much doubt that will happen. Going to meet the same fate as the professor, aren't I? I have no choice, Mr. Moore. You know too much, and I cannot risk you compromising me. I will make it easy for you, you know. Oh, come on. Don't take this the wrong way, but you are nothing but a flimsy bookworm. The fencing and boxing you practice as a student won't save you from me. I've been in a few wars and was a mercenary before getting into this lucrative business. Do me a favor, hand over the artifact. It will be a dignified death, not the humiliating one you seem determined to have. The artifact doesn't belong to you. You obtained it by getting blood on your hands. You're right. but the end justifies the means. Give it to me. Let's end this once and for all. Give me the damned artifact. You'll have to pry it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Don't resist. If you resist, it'll be more painful. Stop fighting for your life. The hammer. Did it not work? I can tear it from your cold dead fingers when you're dead. All I want is to stop breathing. I don't understand. What do you want me to do? I don't get it. I'm trying to hit this guy in the head. Do you want the artifact? Yes, damn it. I have something else for you, damn maniac. Jesus. Opart. Hi, McQuarrie. Back already, are you? And then? Nothing, sir. We scoured the entire coast, and the places pointed out by Mr. Moore. There's nae a trace of camp, nor did we find a thing in that cave. Let's recap, Mr. Moore. According to your story, you killed a man named Price, aye? In self-defense, yes. All that after escaping from a druid cult thought to be extinct. This cult allegedly murdered an archaeologist and his assistant. I know how it sounds, but... And the leader of this cult wore a deer skull upon his shoulders. You don't believe me, do you? I would incriminate myself in a crime for sheer pleasure. I'm telling you the truth. You can ask the lighthouse keeper. We talked to him. He is aware of that cult. Them. That's what he called them. The old Brody. He's nae a very reliable witness, if you ask me. He once called us because he found a mermaid on the coast. When we got to the lighthouse, there was nae a sign of it. He said a return to the sea. The loneliness and lack of contact will civilization makes him seek attention that way. Any other witness to your story besides solitary old madman, Mr. Moore? What about the Cromlech forest? Have you been there? Listen carefully. As far as I'm concerned, you have two options. The first benefits us both. If you indeed killed this Price, well done. McQuarrie and the lads found nae evidence. So, there's nae case. Just go back to London and enjoy your perfect crime. The second option is no in your favor. Because I think you're not but a fanciful tourist wasting our time. I just mobilized all my forces for naught. I believe you're mocking the Scottish police. And that, my friend, could land you a nice stint behind bars. So I'll be kind and give you the choice to make. Take a train and head back to England. If I see you here again, I'll lock you up on the rod. How's that sound? Sir, I didn't want to hear another word from you. McQuarrie, accompany Mr. Moore to the exit. That won't be necessary. I can escort myself. Thank you, gentlemen. Know that you are making a mistake. Oh, just get out of here already, damn it. My ass is gonna be hot. Bloody English. Murder and call Narisville. And he said it will fanciful conviction. Forget it, Sergeant. That fellow likely also believes in ghosts. That is true. That is accurate. No one seems to be here, and it's quite dark. Box of Revelations is nearly complete. I should assemble. It's been a delightful evening. Your success is to be celebrated, Sir Arthur. How did you find Bertolini's specialty? Excellent. Although I believe he may have been a bit heavy-handed with the pepper. Yes, I shall convey your feedback to Bertolini. I am full. Where I have been, they served only soup, and I suspect it was made with mop water. Professor? Patrick, you've returned. Patrick, it's a pleasure to see you. Did you find the artifact? What, you've returned, found the artifact? Is that the extent of your greeting? Damn it. I was worried about you. Where on earth have you been? It's a long story. I've got time. For God's sake, are you going to share it? If you insist. However, I believe Mr. Conan Doyle might do a better job at storytelling than I. He has a knack for it. Did you know he writes stories? I am aware. He's the author of Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock who? If I may, Professor. What? I believe Mr. Moore deserves to know your whereabouts during this time. Yes, he's quite an inquisitive young man. As you may recall, I took it upon myself to investigate the professor's whereabouts while you were off in Scotland. Allow me to recount the events. Oh, okay. It seemed like the earth had swallowed up our friend. All I knew for certain was that his disappearance was connected to the money my order provided for the machine's construction. So the logical thing to do was to get to the root of the problem by starting from the beginning. I knew who to talk to and where to go. I couldn't get lost. I think I'm lost. Oh no, do I have to go in here? Locked. It's too late for classes to be open. Oh no. I need to find the dean first and talk about the money Professor Ward misappropriated. I sense that is the key to the whole affair. Drinking fountain. I'm not thirsty. Biology. Pharmacology. Excuse me, lad. Can you tell me where I can find the dean? That's what I want to know. I'm looking for him because I have to argue. Oh, one moment. Why am I telling you this? Excuse me, lad. Can you tell me where I can find the dean? Do you think I'm his secretary? What a temper. Sir, wait, excuse me, sir. Can you tell me where I can find the dean? I don't know. I need to talk to him, but he's not in his office. Thank you very much. Excuse me. Yes. Can you tell me where I can find the dean? Of course. He should be in the common room right now. Go to the end of this hallway. And, oh, look, here he comes. Thank you very much, young man. A pleasure, sir. Good evening, sir. Dean Henry Carter. A pleasure. Delighted. My name is Arthur Conan Doyle. I know. I attended one of your lectures last September. Mediums. Contact with the Beyond. It was a very interesting evening. You're a believer. Of course. I've written some books on the subject. Fascinating. What brings you to this university, Artie? Well, I'm trying to solve a mystery. It's about our mutual friend, Nelson Ward. I know it is common knowledge that what the professor has done, but I'm afraid I must keep that information to myself at the express wish of the rector. I'm afraid you should share that information since I'm part of this whole affair. What do you mean? The money that Professor Ward supposedly misappropriated belongs to me. Well, more precisely, it belongs to my order, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. It was an anonymous donation. Exactly. My order is characterized, among other things, by discretion. And I would go even further. That money was intended solely and exclusively for Professor Ward's personal use. However, he insisted that the amount be deposited into the university's account. He only wanted a portion of it to be allocated to his metaphysical research department, and as far as I'm concerned, I have every right to know all the details of this matter. As for the professor, it was his money. No one can accuse him of stealing anything. If that's the case, I suppose you're right. Well then, may I ask you a few questions? Did Professor Ward have enemies? I'm not aware of any. He may have had some disagreements with other members of the university staff, like the rector, but that does not make him enemies. Should we rule out the rector then? Please. Shouldn't mention him at all. The rector is no adversary in this story game. Has the alleged theft been reported to the authorities? No. What's the reason for that? I don't want a scandal over this issue. Unfortunately, word has already spread. But if we had filed a report, I'd bet anything the newspapers would pick up on it. And that would be a disgrace for this university. Professor stealing money from donations? As I said, it would be a scandal. Did the professor have debts? Debts? Like what debts? I'm thinking that the money could have been used to pay off a debt. His disappearance could be linked to this fact. Suppose he made deals he shouldn't have. Maybe his creditor collected more than just the money owed. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yes, Nelson was a very austere person. He made a good living as a professor at this university. If he had any debt, he could pay it off with his own money. Yeah, very. He hardly valued money. So it surprises me greatly that he committed the crime. I remind you that the money belonged to the professor. You already mentioned that. In any case, I was telling you how little importance he gave to money. For example, he could live in any neighborhood in the city. His financial situation allowed it. But he chose to rent a humble room at number 14 Dorset Street in the West End. He's a person who has never needed luxuries. Interesting. Oh my god, we are actually playing as Do you have any idea where he might be? I wish I did. Nelson is my friend, Artie. What I want most in the world right now is for him to reappear and clarify this whole matter, especially as rumors are already beginning to spread that they are not to my liking. What kinds of rumors? It said that he used the money to run away with the medium Beatrice Shaw and start a new life together. She's a childhood friend, and she's also looking for him, by the way. If you say so. But Miss Shaw doesn't have a good reputation. She's a fake medium. She deceives people with her supposed contact with the dead. Believe me when I tell you that Miss Shaw has nothing to do with Professor Ward's disappearance. I would stake my life on it. I don't know. She may have an ace up her sleeve. I believe that's all the questions I have for you, Dean Carter. It's been a pleasure conversing with you, even if it's about such an unpleasant matter. The pleasure is mine. Oh my god. What am I doing? How is this game still going? The conversation with Dean Henry Carter was quite fruitful. Among other things, it reminded me of a logical place to continue investigating. His residence on Dorset Street. I knew, Mr. Moore, that you had already searched your mentor's room. But the saying as goes, 4 eyes see more than 2. I also found it striking Professor Ward's alleged theft of the money had not been reported to avoid a scandal. But what caught my attention most is that you, his closest associates, had not reported his disappearance to the police. Take no offense, but there was a better chance of success relying on them than only a university professor, a medium, and a writer. I had a good relationship with Scotland Yard, so it seemed like a good place to continue my investigation. Okay, we're only going to go for a little bit longer. And then I gotta stop. Oh my god. A shilling for this poor tramp? Sorry, I don't have any loose change. Only bills. Well, that ain't much better. Who the hell's calling at this ungodly hour? People live here, damn it. I'm paid to keep things quiet. Sorry to disturb you at these hours, ma'am. Let me introduce myself. I am Artie. Oh, sir. Ain't that fancy. Want a room, Sir Artie? This ain't no Savoy, but it'll keep you from freezing your arse off in this lousy night. I appreciate it, and I'm not looking for accommodation. Just want to ask you a few questions. Questions? Can you spare a couple of minutes? Would have preferred you took a damn room, but fine. Shoot. I'm trying to locate one of your tenants, Professor Nelson Ward. Still ain't turned up? I'm afraid so. Can I search his room? Been done already, this morning, by some fancy lad. Mr. Patrick Moore. I work with him. Really? And tell him he owes me for a lamp. Yes, I will. As for my question, what question? Can I search Professor Ward's room? Perhaps I can find something my colleague overlooked. Now? Impossible. All the tenants are asleep. If they ain't already been woken up by your damn knocking, I will not disturb them. I'll be as quiet as if I were in the London Library. No, come back tomorrow. It's a matter of great importance, ma'am. Important as my tenants sleep. I've told you as much. Come back tomorrow. Did he receive any visitors? None in all his years here. Did you see him interact with anyone lately? In what way? With a woman? Or with a man? With a man? Ain't that indecent. What? No, don't misunderstand me. I meant if you saw him with suspicious company. Until this morning when his pal came, figured he was a loner. When did you last see him? Last night, I heard him go downstairs. I was in bed, but his footsteps are unmistakable. Went out to the street and ain't seen him since. So you were the last person to see him. Ain't seen him. Heard him. But if anyone saw him that night, it was Rupert. Who? The beggar to your left. Always there. Day and night. I know he does it to put pressure on me. Pressures me to let him sleep here, you know. But this is a business. Heard me, Rupert? A business. I hear voices. So Rupert might be the last person to see Professor Ward. Exactly. Unless he was passed out or drunk that night. Or both. Listen, you old hag. Any more questions, Artie? No, I think that's all. Thank you very much for listening. Your responses have been helpful. You sure you ain't got more questions? Not at the moment. Good, save me from more damn knocking. Alright. Let's talk to Rupert. Tossing a coin to a beggar eases the conscience. Tossing a bill, not so much. Did not mean to offend you. Forget it. What do you want? About a tenant in this building, Professor Nelson Ward? Ah, yeah, the ghost guy. A good man. Always gives me a shilling whenever he walks out that door. Not like you. The landlady mentioned you were the last person to see Professor Ward. Is that right? Saw him leave through that door last night and ain't seen him come back all day. Did you talk to him? Did he say where he was headed? Didn't exchange words with, no words with him. Was half asleep in that alley when I saw him leave. Some bloke was waiting for him. Interesting. Can you describe this bloke for me? Didn't get a good look at his face. It was dark, and I was more asleep than awake. But I noticed he was missing an arm. That much I'm sure of. Left or right? Let me think. Saw him from the front, so it must have been a left one. Yeah, the left arm. You sure about that? Most certainly. Oh, also remember he came up to me and said something like, what was it? Oh, yeah. He ain't seen nothing. Understood. So he threatened you. Not exactly. What do you mean? His tone wasn't aggressive at all. He suggested that you don't say anything about what you saw that night. Yeah, could be. Not all threats are overtly hostile. As far as I'm concerned, that sounds like a threat through and through. You reckon? I am a writer. If a villain threatened my protagonist, they'd likely use those words. Well, let's continue. Did he seem uneasy or scared? Who? The professor? No, seemed pleased as punch that bloke was with him. Actually, I'd say he was expecting him. Do you think they knew each other? I don't know, sir. Right. Anything else? Nothing else. Just what I told you. A one-armed man was waiting for the professor. And he advised you not to talk about what you saw, correct? Exactly. You've been a great help. Happy to help. Okay. Thank you. Scotland Yard, what time is it? Wrap this up soon. Oh my goodness. Well. Good as an arty. Sergeant Collins? What do you want, Wilkins? Arthur. The creator of Sherlock Holmes? The same officer. I want to say something, Wilkins. What? You'll be surprised. Oi, Mallory. Come over here. Yes, Sergeant. Judging by Mallory's appearance, can you tell me where he's from, Sir Arthur? Oh, dear. Let's see. Those typical features, I swear he's from the Sheffield area. However, the prominent forehead places him further south, a place where the Sheffield accent differs because of those pronounced S's. Eckington, right? Is it Eckington? Eckington. Good heavens, it's truly Sherlock Holmes. How did you know? Easy. We usually bump into each other at the barber's. How's the family, Mallory? They're doing well. Sam's got a job as a porter at King's Cross, and little Ralph refuses to continue studying. Thanks for asking. I don't know why I partake in this joke every time they have a new officer. It's still just as funny as the first time, don't you think? You can go, Wilkins. By the way, you're lucky the chief is in his office. He wouldn't be so pleased to see you here. What brings you here? Looking for a missing person. Who are we talking about? Professor Nelson Ward, in his 60s, gray hair with a height of... Nelson Ward. Mallory. Yes. Help jog my memory, or correct me if I'm wrong. Remember that former chief forensic officer? His name was Ward, right? Ward. Nelson Ward. You are correct. He left the force to go into teaching. Good man. A bit eccentric, but very professional. Thanks, Mallory. So, our former chief forensic officer has disappeared. We were not aware of that. No one has reported his disappearance. It hasn't been reported, no. But his closest associates claim there's something strange about this whole affair. Professor Ward wouldn't vanish without a trace if there wasn't a compelling reason. Don't you worry. Nelson Ward was one of ours, and as far as I'm concerned, he still is. Mallory. Jesus Christ, Mallory, just hang out here, please. Yes. Issue a search warrant for Professor Nelson Ward, and mobilize a few officers to take care of it. Now? Now. High priority. All of our units are busy at the moment. Jones is with Horton, Meads and Soulsby at the docks. Freed and Runkle are on the trail of Lewis Adams. Curses. You may be dismissed. I'm very sorry, Artie, but the search for the professor will have to wait until tomorrow. No problem, Sergeant, although I must inform you that I am conducting my own investigation into the matter. I won't be the one to stand in your way. We could use a mind like yours. But be careful. I don't want the chief finding out, okay? Why is the chief angry? Because of your Sherlock Holmes stories. He thinks Lestrade is becoming increasingly useless and that it reflects poorly on Scotland Yard. You shouldn't be upset about that. It's pure fiction. Lestrade is not incompetent. He is just a device I use to make Holmes appear more brilliant. That's not how he sees it. He thinks you do it on purpose and doesn't want you consulting the police archives again for your stories. I'm fed up with Sherlock Holmes. He brings me nothing but trouble. Regarding Nelson's disappearance, do you have any leads? Stumbled upon an important clue. Would you mind sharing it with me? Apparently, Professor Ward left his home last night accompanied by someone. A beggar, a certain Rupert, witnessed the event. Was this Rupert the last person who saw Professor Ward? Indeed. And he could recognize that person? He couldn't see his face, but he's certain he was missing an arm. Right or left? Left. He also heard his voice. Let's say he threatened him, or rather, threatened him indirectly. Not many details, but enough for me to organize a lineup tonight. We have several registered disabled individuals of that sort. I suppose the guy who's been threatening beggars at night would be among them. Could you bring that beggar here so he can identify the guy? Indeed. Great. In the meantime, I'll have Mallory gather up a few suspects who fit the description you provided. Thank you for your assistance. I'll do everything I can to clear this up. As I said, Nelson Ward is still one of ours.